we are the people function in any organization, so people look to us for direction. How would you advise our HR colleagues to go about making the digital first and people first strategy, front and center in their agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, Jay, if you survived 2020 and are part of 2021, you have survived what I call the great scramble. I mean, we are in HR being asked to do a lot more with a lot less time. What could have taken months to get approved is now happening in weeks. You've done that work in HR, and everyone should be really proud of what they've accomplished in the last year. From a technology perspective, we've been asked to swiftly adopt to video meeting and collaborative working tools like Microsoft Teams really quickly, almost overnight. A lot of companies have had them in place. Some have implemented them over 2020. That is proof of concept that we can implement technology quickly, right? What I see, especially with larger organizations, is when it comes to larger, bigger and sweeping changes for HR technology, some of those things still aren't happening. I'm talking about a really agile HRIS or a mobile first learning management system. A lot of industries like retail have people who don't have work issued computers or email addresses. So what we're seeing, I think, with the larger, more expensive and potentially longer implementations are that, we have faster expectations, but we're running into the same roadblocks from our management teams. I think there's a lot of fear around change management and people feeling in overburdening not only our HR teams, but also our people who will be using the system. And I think there's a daunting workload and it's costly. So, sometimes we don't have the endorsement to make those sweeping changes. I would say my two pieces of advice are to look for the connection when you're thinking about adopting a new HR system. A lot of times, especially in large organizations, we are adopting technology in piecemeal and sometimes in silos. Your benefits team is adopting one thing, your learning team is adopting another. And we're not thinking of the holistic employee experience. And when I think of holistic employee experience, I think about the customers, which are our employees. I mean, how cool would it be if our point of sale system in retail linked directly into our HRIS or our supply chain system or our merchandising planning system? We could track sales data and outputs and link it right into our performance management system. So there's really large sweeping changes, and there are companies who are offering really innovative technology and are, single sign-on plugins. But if we're adopting things in piecemeal and not thinking about the holistic experience, sometimes the employees feel that. And the last thing I'll say is just don't rely on what you know. The big name consultancies, the big name tech giants that a lot of companies are integrating aren't always the right thing for your organization. So look at your culture makeup and make sure that whoever you're bringing on to implement a new technology match your culture and your values